South wrestler also back home and making a remarkable recovery after a sudden and serious heart attack that happened on live TV.
Jerry, the King Lawler, returned to Memphis last week after collapsing in Canada, and we're glad to say he's back with us this morning on News Channel 3 Live at Night. Jerry, how you doing, brother?
So
you look great. How are you feeling?
I feel wonderful. I was so fortunate throughout this entire incident that I didn't suffer any of the pain that's ordinarily associated. I had a good friend of mine who was also a wrestler that had a heart attack just a couple of months ago, and he told me, he said it felt like somebody was holding my arms behind my back. Somebody like Alex Rodriguez was hitting me in the chest with a baseball bat. I didn't have any of that. I just passed out while I was doing the commentating after I'd wrestled. And the next thing I know, I woke up 3 days later in a Montreal hospital, and just, you know, I was at that point along in the recovery, but I didn't feel any chest pains or any of that sort of stuff that's ordinarily, you know, related to a heart attack.
And you have made a remarkable recovery. I mean, you look fit. You know, how are you feeling? How's your energy level?
I know this sounds crazy, and I don't want to trivialize this at all, because I mean, literally, it was a very serious situation. But right now, I feel great. I don't even feel like anything ever happened to me. I don't feel I don't feel any different than I did before the heart attack. I feel like I have as much energy and strength, and the only thing that's giving me a problem right now is my voice from having the you know, that ventilator down my throat.
Sounds kind of sexy though, kind of that.
Oh, really?
You got to go in already. George, you got to go.
That little thing
But
there.
when you were actually wrestling that night earlier, did you notice any problems, any complications there? Did you feel anything at all?
Honestly, Alex, it's the craziest thing. I did not. Well, I got to be honest with you. I don't remember.
Okay.
But when I go back and watch the last thing I actually remember was when we went on the air live at the top of the hour, 7 p.m. I remember Bret the Hitman Hart was on the show the first time for a long time, and he came out and confronted, or CM Punk came out, our WWE champion came out and confronted him. And I remember that segment. You know, I was sitting at ringside, and they actually spoke with me, and I remember that. And that's the last thing I remember. I've gone back and watched the match. I mean, Randy Orton and I went in the ring, had a match against CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler, and I watch it, and it's like watching somebody else.
Wow.
I mean, I performed perfectly fine, but I don't remember any of that.
Well, and that's the frightening thing, because it was a serious heart attack. So what advice can you give folks out there? Because you don't always have symptoms.
Oh, no, you don't have symptoms. As a matter of fact, the doctors told me later that even if I had a physical or even an EKG right before this happened, it still wouldn't have shown. It was just one of those things where I guess some plaque or something suddenly just moved along and then blocked that artery. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It was a serious situation. I mean, thank God that if it had happened to me somewhere else, if it happened a couple hours later, and I was back in my hotel room in Montreal, Canada, by myself, I probably wouldn't be here today. But
Jerry, though, you had to be touched by not only your fans right here in the Memphis area who love you, but I mean, worldwide, the response. I know I was getting on Facebook and Twitter about you, people concerned about you, people praying for you. You had to be touched.
Oh, it was amazing. The amount of response, as you say, worldwide. The WWE, you know, the programming, that show that happened to me on live was seen in 160 different countries worldwide, and so the response was just amazing, and especially with all the social media now, you know, Twitter and Facebook and all that sort of stuff. It was just the outpouring of concern and prayers that were obviously answered. It's very touching. It just, you never really know, you never really realize that many people even think about you, much less really care about you.
Fans want to know, will you wrestle again?
I think I will. I mean, I honestly, I know it's crazy, but I feel like I could wrestle tonight, but I'm not going to.
I'm sure your doctor says hold up on that.
The doctor does say hold up, but it was great. I mean, it was serious in the fact that our WWE doctor, Dr. Mike Sampson, I mean, he literally was right there on the scene, and apparently my heart stopped beating for about 20 minutes. And he just continued with some CPR, maybe cracked a rib or two, and that's real sore. But he did CPR and the chest compressions for 20 minutes. Wow. Then they got me in an ambulance in the back and took me to the hospital. They shocked me, the defibrillator 7 times. So it was very, very serious.
Thank heavens that it happened.
We're glad he did it.
Where it
That's for
happened.
sure.
And tonight you're going to be at the Mid-South Fair.
Going to be at the Mid-South Fair tonight, signing autographs, and the big Psycho Sid Vicious is going to be wrestling out there down at the Lander Center. And so I'd like to invite everybody to come out and say hi. And everybody's asking when I'm going to come back to the WWE. Hopefully, you know, there's a big SmackDown event here in Memphis, October 16th, and I'm kind of setting my sights on maybe being able to be down at the FedEx Forum for
We
that.
cannot wait.
Great.
Sherry, the King Lawler.
You look great, buddy.
You do.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Prayers
Glad to have you
continue.
back.
Alex. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
absolutely.